Afternoon, Brian James Blunt here, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of What the Fuck's Up. Been a lot of talk recently. Thank you to His Ass is Out the Door, Stephen Richard, former Maricopa County recorder at the end of the day today, trying to get people fired and other sanctions for sharing a tweet that I have told you is 100% true and based on credible information. And so I want to, the trolls have come out of the woodwork and they've started attacking people en masse for saying that this is misinformation or disinformation. And so they are actively trying, folks, to keep this gaslighting, this massive gaslighting attack on America going, apparently, as long as they can keep it going. I want to talk to you a little bit today about the 2021 Arizona State Senate audit of the 2020 general election. Know a little bit about it. I participated in that audit. I was there. And what has happened since that period in time as we've continued to work to unravel what actually took place in 2020. But there are some important dates that I want to talk to you because these trolls that are out there just throwing shit around are absolutely gaslighting you. Hey, troll, why don't you respond to this tweet with some damn evidence that shows what you're saying is true? Because you have no evidence that what you say is true. You simply gaslight. That's all you people are doing. And so here's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. December 15th of 2020, the Arizona State Senate issues a subpoena to the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. All right? A subpoena to the BOS, the Board of Supervisors, demanding that it produce all sorts of things, including the EMS. EMS stands for Election Management System, the EMS server, all of the data related to the 2020 general election, the ballots, all of the chain of custody records, all of the mail-in ballot data and records. And so they issue this subpoena to the Board of Supervisors, telling the Board of Supervisors, there are actually two separate subpoenas issued, but we'll just talk about them as one. But they had until, the Board of Supervisors had until December 18th, 2020 to respond to this subpoena. On December 18th, 2020, the Board of Supervisors files a lawsuit against the Senate, claiming they have no authority to issue this subpoena. And this period of time, folks, is an operative time. But on February 2020 or February 25 of 2021, a Maricopa County Superior Court validated the subpoena, saying it was lawful. And so this period of time, folks, this period of time is operative here, this period of time. Whenever you're served with a subpoena, me as a lawyer, if my client was served with a subpoena, I'd immediately tell them to freeze everything in place, freeze all the records, freeze all the data. You don't want to get drawn into issues of spoliation of evidence. And what that means is basically the destruction of evidence, right? Your client gets hit with a subpoena. You're not allowed then to go out and delete emails and delete files from servers and things of that nature to protect yourself, to cover yourself. Because this is a legal document, and the court found on February 25, 2021, that it was in fact a valid subpoena and that Maricopa County was obligated to comply with said subpoena. And so what takes place? On April 12th of 2021, April 12th of 2021, that's when the video that Stephen Richard liked to try to censor when he was the county recorder, I get to talk in the past tense now, when he was the county recorder, He was actively working to censor people's speech, as was the media and the Board of Supervisors, as they actively gaslit people. This is the operative date during which the data was deleted from the server. Right? The EMS server. And I have right here, this is just an image of the directory structures that were deleted. And the operative date that they were all deleted is April 12, right here, of 2021. Now, how does that happen, folks? Well, it was simple. If you watch my show, you've seen it here because I played it for you. A little clip of a manager level employee with access to the server room. This server room, folks, should be like Fort Knox. You should not have one person alone in there that can go through and manipulate data, as happened on April 12th of 2021. You should not have people without authorization to be operating that server in that server room, as happened on April 12th of 2021, especially without supervision, folks, because that's how records get changed, that's how data gets deleted, and that is actually what took place prior to the county complying with this valid and lawfully served subpoena. And so the audit then begins on April 20th of 2021, after which we learned by analyzing the server that data had in fact been deleted. In fact, this is the directory structure that was taken off of the server that shows all of these deleted files. Now, Bill Gates, the chairman of the Board of Supervisors at the time, testified in front of Congress that, they deleted them and then they archived the files, and that they never provided the archived records to the auditors, right? Did they really archive them? Has anybody seen them, right? What also took place during this period of time, during the issuance of a lawful subpoena and Maricopa County's compliance with said subpoena, what took place during that period of time? Well, we learned that 284,000 ballot images that were turned over to the auditors were either corrupt or missing. 284,000 out of roughly 2 million ballots. How many is that? Was that an eighth? Anybody? Studio audience? Anybody good at math? I don't know. An eighth, I'm going to guess, right? Overwrite issues. Maricopa County continued to use the same server, and when you use the same piece of electronic equipment, folks, what happens is as you're querying data, you're generating new logs that overwrite the older files, right? So what happened was they continued to use these pieces of equipment, and they overwrote many of the logs that were created during the 2020 general election. We also found that, as I just said, the 2020 general election data had been cleared or deleted from the system. They claim to have archived it, but I'm not sure anybody's actually ever seen it without, other than just saying, oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the data. Well, prove it. Show it to us, people. You want to say we're lying? Show it. Go to your friends in the news media. Go to Data Guru with ABC, that hack channel, and say, hey, come on into our system, look at our system. We will show you where it's at, and you can verify on video that this data does in fact still exist today. Chain of custody documents, folks. You have seen it on this show that Maricopa County tried to hide and conceal chain of custody documents from auditors. Those of us who continued to work after the conclusion of the audit were finally able to find those chain of custody records, that showed Maricopa County injected approximately 20,000 ballots into the system in the 3-day period of time following the election. Presidential Citizens Medal. Wow. Where does that factor in, right? Well, you got a lot of people out there saying, oh no data was deleted because that would have been a violation of the law and a court order and blah, blah, blah. People would have gotten in trouble. Well, the Arizona Senate could not enforce its subpoena because one senator backed out and said, oh no, yeah, we don't want to go down this road. And he turned and joined the Democrats in imposing any efforts to enforce this validly issued Senate subpoena. And so he was, of course, later awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal, the highest award a citizen of the United States of America can receive from the President of the United States of America, folks. And so if you watch this video, if you're following people that are telling you some of the shenanigans your local government has been involved in an effort to conceal what actually happened during the 2020 election, then, ask the other side, where's your evidence? I'm giving you evidence, folks. I'm showing you evidence. I'm sure a lot of my followers are going to start posting stuff like this and attaching it to this video so people can actually see it with their own eyes, because we're not lying. We have brought you the actual video showing the individual at the same time in the server room, right? We have brought you video, showing you in the actual chain of custody documents, showing you what was taking place after the 2020 election. And so I challenge anybody out there, prove me wrong with something other than the same tripe that you bring, which is nothing more than gaslighting. And with that, I say peace.